Uh, I can't think of an intro. So this is Asterix Smox with my first Gunpla review, because someone asked me to do it, and I was like, why not? So, I keep hitting the tripod, my bad. So we are looking at the xvb-xd Farsia. Well, for starters, let me take off the stand real quick. Okay. Alright. So I have to say, it looks really nice. So it's not wrong to say that this is a very feminine-looking robot. The pilot is a little girl, I think. That's what I got from the box, the information on the box, because I've never watched Gundam Age, I think. But anyway, I really like the designs from Gundam Age, and they're, like, some of my favorites. And some of my other favorites are, Reconquista G, or Reconquista in G, and Iron-Blooded Orphans. So I have to say that, like, the shaping is really nice here. I'll just pick this up, sort of. And, oh yeah, this can come off. You can keep it there if you want to keep it show accurate, but I haven't seen the show, so I don't know if it comes off or not. And you have this kind of big peg on the back, which is kind of hard to get off because my fingers are so greasy right now. Don't ask why. Okay, well, I got it off. There. Just leave that there. Yeah. So its shapes are really nice. It's kind of pointy and triangular, and it's just, like, generally appealing to me. To me, at least. I also really like the colors in this, because there's this kind of black-gray? Black-gray. I'm an artist. And then there's this cherry blossom pink. There's also a darker shade of pink right there, and then there's this very light purple here. And some other places, I guess. And also, the eye or camera sticker, whatever you want to call it, is green, and you can see how terrible of a job I did putting that on. The instructions weren't very clear on that part. So I'd have to say I really like the shaping and everything on this. I will say I'm disappointed because I got this one before I found out that there was a black one. And, yeah. So this is sort of besides the review. This isn't my first Gundam kit. This one is my first one. And here, this is sort of a size comparison too. But I got both of them purely because I like their design, not because they're both piloted by girls or because I like the character. Because if I got the kit because I like the character, I wouldn't have gotten this guy. Come on, there. Crap. So it comes with this stand, which I don't know what it has to do because I still haven't seen Gundam Age. Came with 2 of each of these hands. Oh great, you can see my numb marks. So this hand acts as a sword holder, whatever. So you can hold her stabby. I'm sure someone will point out how garbage I was at building this kit. One thing I found really cool was that the bottom of this stand acts as a holder for your hands. And you also get this thing, which is meant to go on the bottom of this. But I don't understand why you would need it, because it doesn't stand up in any way. But one thing I like about this flower stand whatever is that you can just rip it out of this crap and stand up your whatever friggin' Bandai stand. And then you got yourself a good floating thing. But you can still plug her into a 1/144 scale stand. It's a mouthful. An actual size comparison. So here we have her next to... here's the Farsia next to the Tri-Burning. Next to Gray's Rooter. The only 1/100 scale Gundam I actually own. McTorin empty can of Arizona I've had in my room for a while. Something else cool about the stand. So it has these friggin' I forgot what they were called, but they stick in like these little holes in the stand and they fall out constantly. So I would say that's a great play feature, actually. And the sword plugs right into the butt, right there. Yeah. Whoa, let's do some flexibility! I'll say that this isn't the most flexible Gundam kit I've ever owned, but it's not bad. One thing that kind of surprised me was the front skirt flaps. Like, they came out of the box separated, so I didn't have to cut them like most other kits. What that basically means, you can lift the leg up this much, and I wouldn't lift it up anymore because this looks kind of fragile and you might break it if you go a little bit too far. But the leg goes back all the way because there's nothing to stop it. Legs are double jointed, so you can get pretty good bend here. But the arm doesn't have a double joint, so it doesn't get that much flexibility. I might have actually built it incorrectly. The instructions weren't exactly clear on the arms. Okay, they weren't clear to me. There's a good amount of waist articulation. Woo! Woo! The shoulders have a bit of up and down movement, and they get a good amount of flexibility, and this thing doesn't really get in the way because it sort of moves, and it's sort of just, they just designed it in a way so it's not in the way. A good double ball joint head connection for a good chicken, oh crap, frick, or a quote-unquote chicken joint. So I would say the flexibility is pretty good. Bandai's done better, but I will give it credit because a lot of the panels aren't really in the way. And even if I put this backpack on, it still doesn't really get in the way that much. It's also built really solidly. Like, I've dropped this thing like 3 times today, and it's still mostly put together. Hey, so if you like this video, give me some other stuff that I could review. I might have it, or I can go and get it. If there are any questions, or if there's just something that you want me to cover in any of my reviews, I read the comments, so you can comment on this video. Woo! And you know what else? I might even start watching Gundam Age. I'm sure someone cares.